There is an airport in Colorado where a 32-foot blue horse with glowing red eyes stands guard at the entrance. It killed the man who built it. Inside, the walls are painted with dead children, a soldier in a gas mask, and the burning of the world. A stone plaque on the floor thanks a group called the New World Airport Commission and carries the symbol of the Freemasons. And beneath your feet, there are miles of tunnels that were sealed and almost never used. No single airport should have this many strange stories attached to it, and yet this one does. So the question isn't whether Denver International Airport is weird. It plainly is. The question is why. Is it the most honest building in America, quietly showing you the plan? Or is it something far more ordinary and far stranger than that? Welcome to the most conspiracy-soaked airport on Earth. Let's open the case file. Start with the building itself, because the strangeness begins before you ever walk inside. Denver International opened in 1995, and almost nothing about it went to plan. It came in 16 months late. It ran nearly $2 billion over budget, ballooning from an estimated $1.7 billion to almost $5 billion, and it is enormous. At 52 square miles, it is the largest airport by land area in the Western Hemisphere, larger than the entire city of San Francisco. And they built it in the middle of nowhere, 25 miles from downtown Denver, out on an empty plain, on far more land than any airport could ever need. To a traveler, it raised an obvious, nagging question. Why would anyone build something this expensive, this delayed, and this massive, this far from the city it serves? What do you need all that empty land, and all that time, and all that money to hide? For a certain kind of mind, an airport that overran this badly wasn't a failure. It was a cover story. The delays weren't incompetence. They were construction of something else. And once you start looking at Denver through that lens, the building seems to hand you evidence at every turn. So let's do it the honest way. 4 exhibits. We'll lay each one out exactly as the theory sees it. Then we'll go back through and check. Exhibit 1. The murals. Painted by an artist named Tanguma, they are the beating heart of the legend because they are genuinely disturbing. One panel shows a towering soldier in a gas mask, holding a sword and a rifle, driving them through a white dove. Around him, women weep over dead children. In another, 3 girls lie in open coffins. To conspiracy theorists, this isn't art, it's a briefing. A painted prophecy of a coming genocide, a planned culling of humanity, hanging in a public airport in plain sight. Exhibit 2. The capstone, set into the floor, is a dedication plaque, and it reads like a confession. It bears the square and compass of the Freemasons. It thanks by name the New World Airport Commission, New World, and it's engraved with 2 mysterious letters, AU and AG. Theorists connected those letters to something called the Australia antigen, a component of a real virus, and decided the plaque was hinting at a coming engineered plague, a Masonic marker, a New World Order, and a secret disease, all signed into the floor. Exhibit 3. The horse they call Blucifer. A 32-foot rearing Mustang, painted a violent blue, with veins bulging and eyes that glow demonic red. It looks like the pale horse of the apocalypse, repainted for the end of the world. And here is the part no one has to exaggerate. While he was building it, a piece of the sculpture fell on the artist, Luis Jimenez, and killed him. The horse killed its own creator before it ever reached Denver. Try telling a believer that statue isn't cursed. And Exhibit 4. What's underneath? Denver was built over a network of underground tunnels, far larger than a terminal should need. And then, strangely, most of them were quietly sealed off and abandoned. To the theory, the answer is obvious. Bunkers. A shelter for the elite when the culling in the murals finally comes. A base for the New World Order. Or, in the wilder tellings, a city for the reptilian creatures said to run the world from below. Miles of empty tunnels under the biggest airport in the country. Sealed. What are they for? 4 exhibits. A prophecy on the walls. A Masonic plague on the floor. A death horse at the gate. And bunkers underground. Laid out like that, it's overwhelming. So let's go back through the file, one at a time. And this is where it falls apart. Start with the murals, because the theory only ever shows you half of them. Tanguma was a Chicano muralist whose entire life's work was about one thing: the horror of war and pollution, and the hope of humanity overcoming it. His Denver murals are 2-part stories. Yes, the first half shows the gas mask, the coffins, the destruction. But that's the warning. The second half, the part the screenshots always crop out, shows those same children waking up, the soldier gone, the weapons beaten into plowshares, the world in bloom. It isn't a prophecy of genocide. It's an anti-war painting. Tanguma has said so. For 30 years, the conspiracy exists by cutting the painting in half. Now the capstone. The New World Airport Commission wasn't a shadow government. It was a temporary group of local business and civic leaders, formed to promote the airport's grand opening. It threw the launch party, and then it disbanded. The Freemasons, they've laid the ceremonial cornerstones of American public buildings for 2 centuries. It's tradition, not treason. And AU, AG, those aren't code for a virus. They're the periodic table symbols for gold and silver, set beside a mining cart, honoring the Colorado gold and silver rush that built the state. It's a history lesson. People just read it as a threat. The horse. Blucifer's death is real, and it's a genuine tragedy. But it was an accident in a studio, not a curse, and those infamous red eyes, they're a tribute. Luis Jimenez grew up working in his father's neon sign shop and lit the horse's eyes red in his memory. The most demonic detail in the whole airport is a son honoring his dad. And the tunnels. This is the best part, because the truth is almost funnier than the myth. Denver tried to build the most advanced automated baggage system ever attempted. 17 miles of track, 4,000 robotic carts flinging your suitcase across the airport at high speed. It was a disaster. In testing, it shredded luggage and threw bags onto the floor. It was the single biggest reason the airport was late and over budget. Eventually, they gave up and ripped most of it out. Those secret bunkers under Denver, they're the tomb of a $238 million engineering failure. Not a shelter for the elite. A very expensive mistake, quietly buried. So if every piece has a boring answer, here's the real mystery. Why does all of it pile up in this one building? And the answer is a kind of perfect storm. Take any one of these on its own, and you'd shrug. Airports go over budget. Cities buy cheap land far out so they can expand. Public buildings get Masonic dedications. Artists make dark, political work. But stack them in the same place, at the same time, and something happens in the human brain. We are pattern machines. We cannot look at a soldier mural, a Masonic plaque, a death horse, and sealed tunnels, and not draw a line connecting them. The line feels like discovery. It's really just our wiring. But Denver's story has a final twist that most conspiracies don't. Because the airport figured out that the legend was the best marketing it would ever get. So it leaned in. Hard. During a recent renovation, the official airport plastered the construction walls with signs like, "Forgive the mess." Building secret underground tunnels can get quite untidy. It installed a talking animatronic gargoyle that cracks jokes to travelers about the Illuminati. It ran an entire ad campaign built on its own conspiracy theories and earned hundreds of millions of views doing it. Think about what that means. The single loudest voice keeping the Denver airport mystery alive today is the Denver airport. The suspect started selling t-shirts. So let's answer the question we started with. Why does one airport have so many bizarre rumors? Not because it's hiding a bunker for the end of the world, but because it accidentally became a mirror. Everything people already feared. In the year it opened, distrust of government, of secret elites, of money that vanishes into projects no one can explain, needed somewhere to land. And here was a building that ran billions over budget, sat alone on an empty plane, and decorated itself with dead children and a demon horse. Of course, we filled it with ghosts. It practically asked us to. Here's the part that should sit with you. The comforting version of Denver is that someone is in control, that the tunnels mean something, that the murals are a plan, because a secret plan, however dark, is still a plan. The truth is scarier. Sometimes a $5 billion airport is just badly managed, oddly located, and strangely decorated, and no one is steering at all. We built a cathedral to our own suspicion, and then we couldn't stop worshiping there. This was the hidden signal. Subscribe, we read the walls so you know what you're standing on. And tell me in the comments, of all 4 exhibits, which one still gives you the chills? Because there's a 5th one we didn't even get to, and it's about the gargoyles.